gave it to him. Gave one to copy. He signed it. Because that one was last time.
Okay, so.
Yes, for July. Adam has a fresh one, yes.
All right, 6:01, we're gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order, and the first thing we gotta do is swear in Mr. Adam Logan here, as a new board member, so, Gene.
Would you stand and raise your right hand? You wanna read it? I'll read it for you.
Okay, that's fine.
I, Adam Logan, solemnly swear
I, Adam Logan, solemnly swear
that I've resided in the state of Indiana 2 years
that I've resided in the state of Indiana 2 years
and within the Walnut Creek Fire Protection District for a period of more than 1 year prior to January 1, 2026.
and within the Walnut Creek Fire Protection District for a period of more than 1 year prior to January 20th, 2026.
Further, that I possess all the legal qualifications required for membership
Further, that I possess all the legal qualifications required for membership
on the Board of Trustees of the Walnut Creek Fire Protection District,
on the Board of Trustees of the Walnut Creek Fire Protection District,
that I will not, while serving as a member of such board,
that I will not, while serving as a member of such board,
become interested directly or indirectly
become interested directly or indirectly
in any contract with or claim against said fire district,
in any contract with or claim against said fire district,
that I will not, in the performance of my official duties
that I will not, in the performance of my official duties
as a member of said board,
as a member of said board,
including the selection of its officers,
including the selections of its officers,
other than the merits, fitness, and qualifications
other than the merits, fitness, and qualifications
of the person or persons to be selected.
of the persons or persons to be selected.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the laws of the United States and the State of Indiana.
and the laws of the United States and State of Indiana.
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office
as a member of this governing body, so help me God.
as a member of this governing body, so help me God.
He's sworn in.
All right, welcome, Adam.
Thanks.
All right, so next on our agenda is for our board nominations. I've been around here for just a minute, so I would nominate myself as president, and then I would like to nominate Isaac as vice president.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we got contract distributions. So in front of us here, we have 2 contracts. One is for Bainbridge and one is for Clinton Township. Do you have a copy you want us to sign, or is this it
Yes.
right here?
We'll use the copy that I bring around to you to
Okay.
sign. So the ones that you have will just be for record.
Correct.
And at least on the Bainbridge contract, I did not fill in the amount. I presume it would be the same, but I didn't. And I presumed, maybe fairly or not, that the contract with Walnut Creek would continue to be $1,300. So you need to clarify that.
Okay. Kevin?
I have not yet seen the contract, so.
Yeah, we're not gonna be signing contracts tonight, because we
Yeah.
haven't reviewed them yet.
We usually just give them to the board, they pass them on, and then signatures follow or objections follow.
Okay.
Normally we would have had them meeting last meeting of last year.
Yeah, we're meeting behind.
Well,
That means it's gonna be an extra long meeting tonight.
that's all right, I get paid by the hour.
Good, you're getting paid.
So you guys just review the contracts when you have your individual departmental meetings, and then send me a PDF of this slide copy.
Yeah, I think that's what we did last year.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so going over the minutes for,
Well, hang on, there's
Motion.
Gene's contract and then my contract.
oh yeah, yeah, okay. So I will make a motion to approve Gene's contract for legal services.
Second.
All in favor? You
Aye.
good? Okay. And then I will make a motion to approve Deere Accounting's contract.
Second.
Okay. Passed. And then we have the minutes for the time before last, which was July 2025. You guys had the opportunity to look over it. Or you need a minute?
I looked over it, I wasn't there, so.
Okay.
You get on it.
Okay, so I'm making a motion to approve the minutes for our board meeting on July 28th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passed.
Was that Adam's second? I didn't hear.
No,
Isaac
Isaac
second.
second. Okay. So I need you to register the claims.
I got it, just.
You got it.
Okay.
I don't. If you would, sign right there. You approve it?
Yep.
And I'll send that out in the email after the meeting.
Thank you. Okay, I make a motion to pass the register of claims.
Second.
All in favor? Let's see here. Bank statements. You have those?
I took those back.
Oh, you took them back? Okay. I already initialed the bank statements.
Correct.
And.
It's on the back of this one, isn't it, Tiffany?
Oh, the
No,
financial statement?
No, the bank statements was a thick copy from
Okay.
the end of the
You wanna
year.
see them?
No, I'm good.
Alright, so now we're to a regulatory filings.
Okay. So the district financial report, I've provided a financial statement that looks like this as of December 31st, 2025. This is basically a snapshot of all of the activity that occurred in the calendar year 2025. Total receipts in, $279,837. Total spend, so disbursements, was $196,410. The kind of the light gray color rows are the four different categories that the State Board of Accounts monitors that we do not exceed. So for personal services, we came in very close. We had $94 remaining in that category. Supplies, we had $7,200 remaining. Other services and charges, there was $16,000 remaining, and capital outlay $13,000. When I took an analysis of why we had particularly high funds remaining to be spent, I should say permissions to be spent that we did not use, I noticed that Gene had not gotten all of his invoices over to the district yet. So I wanted to propose this resolution 2026-1, which I did send over in an email. And that is encumbering the legal services appropriation. What this allows us to do is to use the permission that we had in 2025 to spend the remaining invoices in 2026.
Okay.
So we would be encumbering for legal services $5,970. Similarly, the run incentive, I don't believe we ended up paying out any more than 1 quarter's worth. I could be wrong, but I
Yeah, there's
understand.
more.
What's that?
There's more. We only did one.
So I wanted to propose to the board that we encumber the funds so that the departments can get those paid out. The run incentive encumbering would be $4,730. And then from the cumulative fire fund, we only spent $51,000 of our $100,000 permission. So based on how tonight goes and the updates that are provided, I'm proposing that we encumber the permission to spend the remaining $48,000 in the calendar year 2026.
I'll make a motion to pass the resolution. All in favor?
Second.
Motion passed.
I missed the second again.
Isaac.
We're quiet tonight.
Pass it, please. The regulatory filings are listed there just so that everybody knows those are up and coming. Those are in order of due date. So State Board of Accounts requirements do come first on the list, followed by the DLGF and then the IRS tax filing for the departments. And that is, unless anybody has questions on the financials, that is the conclusion of my piece.
So, and that, Tiffany, that includes the 100R and all that?
That is second on the list there. State Board of Accounts requirement of 100R. Yes.
Okay. So we are to the SBOA 100R. And can you explain that for us, Tiffany?
Sure. The State Board of Accounts utilizes a portal called Gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and the president of the board have to kind of tag team the Gateway entries. I'm the one that goes in and populates all of these requirements, but I do not have submission access. So the board president will go in and under their login, submit, review and submit what I've populated. The 100R is a shorter requirement, but I'm required to upload the current W-2 paid employees and how much they earn, because of course this is a taxpayer funded entity and that's all public knowledge.
Okay. And that's due at the end of this month.
Correct.
Okay, and then, our annual financial report?
So instead of the government, the Walnut Creek Fire Protection District completing a tax filing, it completes what's called the AFR, the Annual Financial Report.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that you would imagine to be reported on that with regard to financials is reported on that AFR.
Right. And we have to complete that by 3/1.
Correct.
26. And then the entity annual report.
Now, this isn't for the district. These are requirements that are due for the departments. Historically, those have never been handled within the departments. That's something that I've always handled for the departments. Entity annual report requires me to report the total disbursements within the department, as well as how much money did they bring in over the course of the year, and of that money, how much was provided by another government unit, for example, the Walnut Creek Fire District.
Thank you. And the DLGF contract?
This is a brand new requirement as of 2025. The contracts that we signed tonight will be uploaded as a requirement by the Department of Local Government Finance, DLGF, again, because these are public knowledge and contracts need to be transparent.
Thank you. And last but not least, the 990s for Bainbridge and Clinton.
The Form 990 is required to be submitted annually by the IRS and the Department of Revenue. This is the tax filing, and both of our departments have achieved tax exempt status, which requires them to file the 990 by May 15th, unless we file an extension.
Thank you. Okay. This seems a little bit more in depth than what I remember. I don't remember doing all of those.
The contract
Last 7 years.
attestation is new. We've only done that 1 year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we've done them all, I promise.
All right, so now we're to the Department Financial Reports. We're gonna start with Bainbridge first. Paul?
I lost my screen. Bainbridge no longer has any other accounts besides the fundraiser account, which currently is at $6,484.45. That's the only account that we have now because we don't have operational accounts. Do we even need to report that anymore? It's fundraiser funds only, and I wouldn't think that.
I mean, that's strictly you guys.
And now it's just paid cash to the district, so.
Well,
I mean, it's our
It's your money.
account, right?
Yeah.
So
You said it's 4,000 what? 600?
$6,484.45. That number is actually a little lower than it should be. There's some reimbursements that need to come out of the equipment fund that we paid.
Okay. Thank you.
Not to interject.
I'm glad
I
you
don't think
appropriated those because we're
there's-
way higher than 30-something thousand. But I have no idea what's been paid and what's not. That'll be a different topic tonight.
Okay, and as far as the requirement to report to the board, I think that they probably have the ability to determine what they want you to report, but I
Sure.
do know for sure that the IRS will want to know the fundraiser funds that you,
What is our mechanism to report it to the IRS?
that'll be on the Form 990.
Okay, so we can just do that,
I'll just ask for you for
Yeah.
the total activity.
right? Okay, very good. So if you guys want to hear that, we're happy to continue to bring it. There'll be some other topics tonight that might make that a little easier, hopefully. But just a question.
Okay.
And for Clinton, I'm also the treasurer. I have no idea what those accounts are.
I got it.
Okay, there's
Yeah, I remember. We're good.
All right, so to the Tinker 25 loan.
Oh, the payment was in queue to be paid. I can't confirm that it's actually gone out the door yet, from my office, but the balance after that payment is $349,308. This loan is set to mature in 2038, and we do make 2 payments per year of $19,067, January and July.
Okay. Relocation of fuel pumps, Paul. Did we ever get a quote for that?
I got a quote, it was incomplete. I did some more research and we don't have to put it far away from the building. It only has to be like 5 feet from the building, which is great because that means we don't have to run electric and, for lighting under the gravel. So I've not gotten any, still soliciting. I heard there was maybe some people around that might know, who wants to do the concrete, because really the concrete is about the only thing that we need to pay for at this point. Once we do that, Keystone will move the tanks from their current location over to the department location. We selected what would be the southwest corner of the building at Bainbridge. That provides us good ability to drive up to it with the bigger trucks without running into the grass. We'll have to do 2 pylons when we pour the concrete, so that we can provide a little protection for dragging on the tank if somebody gets too close, especially because every once in a while we get traffic through there, going between the road behind it and 36. Hopefully that's not a surprise right after we put it there for the person not paying attention, but the pylons should help.
Who did you check with on that? Did you ask insurance on that 5 foot?
It's been months ago when I looked it up. I actually looked it up online.
Okay. I know some insurance companies have different standards where they
Oh,
want.
I actually did. I asked our insurance.
Yeah, Brandy Brandenburg.
Randy Brandenburg. I called her, and they don't have a requirement for it to be farther away than that. I got to look in, and everybody's fuel tank is right next to a building, probably so that they can run the electric right out instead.
I was gonna say, you've seen clips.
I mean, the town of Bainbridge has one. Like everybody that has a tank. That's for propane. It is different. But for stuff that's not pressurized, especially there's a 5. I think it's either 500 or 2,000 gallon limit, and we're below all that. So
Okay. Tanker arrival?
Yeah.
here,
It's here. And,
Quite a few scenes already.
Yeah.
and then municipal packets, I mean, it's here, so I'm assuming you guys all got your final signatures and all that. Is that Tiffany?
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
Tiffany was working on that.
I'm working on both of the municipal packets. There's one for the new tanker, and then there's one for the hovercraft that we're finalizing still. So that one was more of a notation, so you guys know that I've bounced it over to, the packet says it needs to be the seller, so there was a little bit of confusion on who exactly that might be, but Kevin and I agreed it needs to be Ben, so waiting on Ben to sign those. After we have the seller, Ben
Ben.
Ben
Legacy
Brown, he's the
Fire.
Dealer from Legacy.
Apparatus, the packet will be complete. We'll send it into Indianapolis.
Do we have will that be ready to go by the next meeting, or do you know?
Yes.
Okay, we're close?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're ready. The department took a chunk of, to complete their end, and yeah, we're.
All right, Clinton Township Rescue 11.
All right, well, I can go ahead and report for our donation account.
Go ahead.
Start with that. So our donation account is currently at $10,831.79.
Okay.
Alright, and now, yeah, Rescue 11, which is Brush 11, is what we're talking about here. The wonderful project. It was put into service, August, September, somewhere in that time frame is when, so it's in service. Right
Nice.
now, it's not, we're not completely done with it. Really, all we want to do is put some toolboxes, some more adequate storage to be able to put a few more pieces of equipment on there. But yeah, fully in service with a working skid unit. Yeah, operational after all this time. It's good.
All electrical's good to go.
We just disconnect the battery. We had to put a new disconnect switch on because there is still some electrical issues where there's a drain. But the disconnect switch is the easy fix for now. I mean, no one could track it down. So
Yeah.
we've kind of given up on that, but so yeah, it's fine. Just flip the switch and good to go. So yeah, that's a nice thing.
Okay. I am glad to hear
So,
that.
not a bad idea.
And then, we just covered municipal packet for the hovercraft.
Yeah.
So
It's still down in Terre Haute at the manufacturer in Neoteric. They're holding on. I mean, I guess really they're just being nice. They're kind of housing it.
storing it for
Yeah,
us.
because they want to buy it.
Well, it's starting for them.
As we already
Right.
have talked about,
No.
almost, I don't know, not quite a year ago, maybe a year ago
It's
now.
been-
They still do want to buy it back. They're just waiting until we get them the title to complete the sale.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah. I
Hadn't
mean, they
really
built
been
it, and
used,
it's
so.
like brand new, so, yeah, I think they're excited.
So title and all that got taken care of. It's out of,
We're waiting
oh,
on
we're
that
still
registration
waiting on the
packet
registration
to come
packet?
back from Indianapolis.
Yes.
Correct,
Okay, so it's not out of Mr. Camp's name yet.
correct.
Technically not, yeah. As soon as we get the title, this sale will be complete, but we're
Okay.
just waiting on
Because
the
then
state of Indiana.
they can convert it from, or then the district. What we're waiting on is the title to be transitioned from camp to the district. Then the district can sign the title over to the
Yes, correct.
buyer.
Do we know why it's taking so long?
Well, the big hold was tracking Tony down.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming we just recently tracked him down?
Well, I mean,
it
it's
was
been out
quarter
for a
four.
while. Tyler, when did we get
It's
that?
been quite a few months now.
Yeah, I'd say.
As soon
October
as-
or November, he
As
signed
soon
it.
as I got it, I hit him up and was like, hey, let me need you to sign this, and went and got it signed.
And then they've delivered it back to us, and then, I mean, not out of the question for me to call the
That would be
B and B and.
If you wanted to, that'd be great. I'm sure
Happy
it's
to
not
do
gonna
that.
go anywhere, but it's worth a shot,
It's
right?
worth a
happy to do
shot.
that.
You're so nice, Tiff. Thank you.
Rick gets spammed every day.
I just want to get rid of the hovercraft, that's all.
Yeah. That headache.
Alright, so moving along here, we are down to new business. And so I don't know which department has more new business to discuss
Both.
than the other.
Both. It's both. I say we start with the sale of that pump. Sorry, I'm
Alright, let's start,
That's
we'll
an
start with,
easy item.
That's an
let's
easy
start-
item.
let's start with Clinton and then, let's get Clinton out of the way and then we'll go Bainbridge.
Well, yeah, really, we just need to figure out, there was unfortunately a pump that sat in our bay. It was brand new. We had zero use for it. It was bought by previous administration. We tried to find a use for it, we couldn't. It's just not practical for our situation. So, instead of moving it around for the 100th time, we found someone who was in a field that could use this style of pump. So we looked at value, we agreed to a sale, so we sold the pump to this gentleman. He's in the hazmat specialty. They're kind of the people that use these pumps. And anyway, so the sale price was $4,900. I brought the sales receipt, the buyer's contact information, and the money tonight for us to decide where exactly that goes. Because I wasn't doing anything with it till we knew.
Okay,
And this is the David, was the
Yes.
buyer.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, well, he came to negotiate. Well,
okay, so that's pretty cut and dry. let's move forward with the next item.
Well, we need a decision on where that money
Yeah,
should
where's the
go.
money gonna go, whether it's to the district or the department?
So, correct, you'll probably have to go back and check your records, but my memory says that that was bought directly out of the checking account from Clinton Township.
That
And
would
the
make-
reason why I say that is because we made a distribution payment, and that distribution, the checking account went down very significantly, fast.
So that would make sense too, because at that time, he wouldn't have had access to any district funds.
So we
Without
would
prior
not, we
approval,
would
so-
not have approved
Right.
of the actual pump anyway, so
Right.
the pump was purchased out of our approval.
Yes,
We have a thing that if you're more than $1,000, you're supposed to get
Yes.
approval from the board.
yes,
There was never an approval from the board to do this.
right.
He simply wrote the check
Yeah.
out of the account from Clinton Township.
I will say it appeared.
I believe
he-
that's how it went.
It appeared he intended to use this pump on the mini pumper build he was
He did.
making.
He did.
If that makes any difference, I think that's what he was trying to use it for.
Yes.
It
What was the
another-
original purchase price of it?
We had no records to know. We just looked at the market.
We do
value.
have records of
I bet I
that.
could find.
We
it.
have
Yeah, I
it
mean,
in
you
our.
guys-
Cause he got it used, it was an FDIC model the guy was using there, he was like, oh, I'll give you this price today, kind of thing, and he was like, okay. So,
We do have record of it. We'll have to go back and
Was
look
that
at it.
Out of
That was,
ARPA
that made
funds,
part of the
or was that
list.
out of-
no, that was,
Okay.
I think before that.
I guess my
I
question then,
I don't.
No, because the whole.
it sounds like they're,
I was under I had no clue. I was under the impression it was brand new. That's the first time I heard it was used.
It's more than just a printing press.
What?
That was the first time I heard that the pump was used. I thought it was brand new.
cause this is the
It
same
looked
pump
brand new.
that
It was
has.
a display model.
It was very
directions
lightly
in
used, it was a display model at FDIC,
Right.
he was just using it to show people, that's all.
All
It
the
had-
instructions were in Japanese.
Okay.
Nothing on it was in English
Very,
or
very
anything
lightly
else.
And
So-
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
The question of who, where do the funds go back to? I guess in my thinking is in the summer of 2024 or 2025. The July meeting, July of 2024, you had, the board had agreed that these funds would be centralized. So, instead of the departments handling the funds, the transactions, the bill paying, the money coming in, instead of that happening anymore, the board had decided at that point that all of the money would be managed by the district. So I guess I would just ask if you, in your opinion, does it make sense that the fire department receive this money back if since that time, the district has made that decision that the funds are centralized?
So my personal opinion, and these two can chime in. My personal opinion is that transaction took place before we voted to centralize all the funds.
Correct.
And so, in my personal opinion, that money would belong to Clinton Township. And you guys, you'll second that? You agree?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't here at the time, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the vote was or whatnot.
Well, there was no
I
vote
mean,
You mean to purchase it?
to
yeah, to
purchase it.
purchase it, as far as, like, this is my first night here, so the money going back to Clinton Township or whichever department, I mean, who sets, the budget? You guys have to come to us for approval to buy stuff, over $1,000. I mean, what account would it go into, and what would the purpose be for it going back to Clinton or Bainbridge or vice versa versus coming to the district account and then you guys just asking for the approval for whatever you need to purchase? What's the difference of that? I guess that's my thing. I'm not opposed either way, I'm just,
I
Well, I
was,
think the timing of the change in how the funds were handled comes into play because the pump was purchased at an unknown date prior to July of 24.
That's probably 2022.
2021 even, maybe? It's been,
Probably
Or
23.
22 or 20, yeah.
22 or 23.
yeah, 22, 23, yeah.
The only thing I would say is I personally believe that money belongs to Clinton Township. But I would say that since that money was spent on equipment, I would ask that that money that they would receive back be spent on equipment versus just anything.
Good with that.
Paul,
I was gonna bring that up. The money is equipment, and when we decided to centralize, any funds that would have been allocated for operations or equipment would have gone back to the district at that time. So it's equipment money, it's gonna be equipment money. We pay for things out of equipment funds. So instead of putting the burden on Clinton to try to manage 4,000 some odd dollars into equipment funds, put it back in the equipment fund for 2026 in the district account and let it spend.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna have the money,
Right.
but you guys need to figure out how you're gonna spend that money in 2026, is what I'm
Easy.
saying.
Easy.
I mean, it's
Very
equipment,
fair.
it's equipment money, so it should
Yeah.
at least go into operations or equipment
Correct.
fund for accounting.
It
Because we
sounds
sold
I-
out,
yeah,
like that would happen
perfectly.
with any other equipment that we might sell. We're not gonna try to go back to 10 years ago when we bought the thing and try to figure out whether it came from district or fundraised money. We consolidated funds when we chose to do that, so that any of those assets should be managed under one account, just for no other reason than to keep accounting simple.
Yeah.
Because you've got what if I buy something for almost $4,900? Now I've got to track this extra $10 forever. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you to do that. I know what you're doing. That sucks. So let's just put it back where it belongs.
I'm good with that.
I think we should get a motion on that.
We have $3 left.
So I'm gonna get a motion to approve the money from the pump sale to be allocated back to Clinton Township. And Clinton Township has approval to spend the $4,900 for equipment.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes.
Next time.
Are we on next?
Next,
Where are we going next? Do you guys have anything to bring up before we
do the
Do you guys got anything else?
doodle? I have
Um,
nothing else to linger.
mine can kind of be related.
I mean,
It's just about,
I kinda do.
Let's let Paul, go ahead, Paul.
You have.
okay.
are we going Bainbridge right now, or are we going
No,
both,
we're
or what?
We're getting ready to make this, hopefully, we're getting ready to make this really, from now going forward. On December 8th, we had a meeting with, members of both departments. We followed all of our, bylaw policies for notification to all members for the meeting, giving them, a complete notice. Members from both departments, appeared in the meeting, and we discussed combining Bainbridge and Clinton into a single Walnut Creek Fire Department. All of the members on both departments, we took votes separately. All of them voted unanimously there, which constituted a majority in both individual departments to combine as one. And we're now Walnut Creek Fire Department, at least in spirit.
Yes.
So we are currently working towards whatever needs to be done that's
Yeah.
more Paul's realm, and not having two stations, Clinton and Bainbridge, as one department. for at least, well over a year now, we've talked about it, because there's a lot of us doing double the work, and we've talked about
We've
that.
also been dual tone for the past.
You've been dual tone, 2.5 years, 3 years, just time.
So we got two departments combining into one, operating out of two locations to cover our our districts.
Correct.
Yeah.
In the best manner
That's exactly
possible.
Yes.
Okay.
We also held elections that night, since obviously leadership would need to be formed, and agreed that we would use the Bainbridge bylaws as the template for drafting new bylaws for the Walnut Creek Fire Department. That would also adjust the contract that we would have with the district to just be a single contract covering both areas, both townships. The elections occurred according to the Bainbridge bylaw structure that we also discussed. We now have one chief, one president, one treasurer, and one secretary. I'm the president, Kevin's the chief, Tyler is the treasurer, Michael Moncur is the secretary, and we voted to attempt to have an effective date for that to be January 1, 2026. We still are working with dispatch to make the changes. They are still toning both departments, although sometimes there are errors in that depending on which dispatcher is sitting at the desk. Because
Still a
we've
learning curve.
experienced that for the last year and a half. And we also have a new mechanism of communicating so that we can help each other out. At its core, the reasoning for this is to simplify leadership, to consolidate training efforts, to simplify any runs incentives that we might be doing, but also to cover. I think both of these departments are volunteers. Everybody works. We've got a lot of career firefighters in the Clinton Fire Department, a lot of people that work out of area in both departments, and sometimes we're just not available. And so it's really nice to be able to go a different way. We also have a pretty good spread of people living within the two townships that allows us to respond directly to scene, especially for things that are like lift assists in the middle of the night, that you don't have to drive 15 minutes one way and then around 30 minutes another way just to pick somebody up when somebody on the other department is literally 3 minutes away, right? The boundary is real odd between the two townships. I mean,
They're all odd.
Tyler can get there in 3 minutes, and if I have to go somewhere and come back, it's a 20-minute drive, and he can hit me up on the radio or text message or communication in all kinds of different ways to be like, I got this, guys. Everybody go back to bed. That is super nice for keeping volunteers and not burning people out. Those are the reasons that we chose to do this. We wanted to bring it up tonight. I guess for I don't know necessarily that there's anything that you need to approve in this regard, because you wouldn't approve new bylaws for either department anyways. But it does affect our contract. If there's any other elements that we need to do, I mean, Bainbridge at one point was incorporated. Those documents will have to be edited. Clinton may be incorporated, or maybe we just built a building there one day. I don't know. We'll have to figure out all those. But in fit, form, and function, we're operating under one set of leadership and as one department to make things easier. Hopefully, it's made things easier for us so far. Hopefully, it makes things easier for you guys. Tiffany will only have to keep one set of books, which is another topic to bring up there. We threw around department names, so I got a list of items, just like considerations. New department names. We didn't really decide if it was going to be North Putnam Fire Department, Walnut Creek Fire Department. I think we kind of settled that Walnut Creek was the easiest thing. That's the name of our district. Although we've got a member over here that may want to bring up a different topic tonight. I'll let him do that. Communication for dispatch. Our leadership has taken the task on. I've been working with Dave Clodfelter to get that consolidated, and to work with, actually, there's an app now that we use that we're getting dispatched over that is much better than IAR. It's operating in 6 out of the 12 departments throughout the county. and I know the author really well. So we're working on that. The group chat is also now built into that. There are some group chats via text message that we can use to do intra-department communications during an incident. And we just kind of informally decided to delay any changing of truck numbers and logos. We just don't need the expense. They all have Walnut Creek stickers on them. If we go with Walnut Creek, nobody's like, everybody that we would show up to a fire to help outside of our area, they know. So we're not super concerned about that. Maybe we can do that later in the year. So big news on the front. Any comments? And you guys feel like, did I miss anything?
Are you guys moving any trucks
No.
from department to another?
They
Nothing's
live where
moving?
they live, they're gonna stay in
That's
each
the good
department,
thing
each
is-
station.
Keep it
Apparatus.
simple, I mean, cause everybody else in the county knows.
In terms of the capital and assets and resources that each station has, we're balanced well, so there's not gonna be, as of now, there's no need or conversation to move anything, equipment wise or apparatus wise.
And we did decide to consolidate our
Walnut-
donation accounts.
Walnut Creek owns
One account, that's a big one.
owns the building, but also we own our fire.
You own
Fire
everything,
equipment.
you own everything.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. So, and if I recall right, you guys own your stuff, don't you?
So going back,
If I recall.
yeah, going back some time that somebody's gonna have to do some archival research on that side of the room in the minutes. Prior to 2013, we were supposed to have signed everything over to Walnut Creek Fire Protection District under Kathy there. It did not get done. Then with Richard, you and David, you guys just said, let's just not worry about it.
You
Keep it
guys
as
own
it
your
is.
stuff and.
We
Far
can
as
check
I
it
know,
over,
but I
and we can
know
sign it
the
over.
title, we gave the titles to everything to
I mean, I'm not gonna take it home. so-
Kathy dear at that point. I don't know where they're at.
I still have retention of hard copy titles.
Okay,
For all the,
Okay.
that's from both departments.
so,
Give them all,
yeah, but yes, technically,
You want me to send
Bainbridge owns the trucks and
the building.
Building and
We can
fire.
audit that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Walnut Creek Fire District owns the building and the fire apparatuses for Clinton Township. So
All of it.
I don't think that really matters in this case. I mean, all they're doing is combining the two fire departments, which my
All of the
personal
funds.
opinion is should have been done.
It should have been done at the beginning of.
It should have been done in the beginning of time,
Yeah.
but here it is, and for a long time, the two fire departments gotta get along, so I'm happy to see that they're combining, so.
I do have a
One big
question
happy
in the back.
dysfunctional
family.
You said very
So this is
quickly,
my surprise face.
Paul is president,
He's got a question.
Kevin is the chief.
Kevin is
Kevin
chief.
is the chief.
Paul Weiss.
We don't have an
president.
assistant chief yet.
We'll pass it. Okay,
Green-
so I guess.
I don't think
I'll
that
explain
really
some. Tyler Fiskus is treasurer, Michael Moncur secretary. And for your, this is an FYI, according to the new bylaws, the only voted positions are those four, ever. So assistant chief, all the captains and everything, that's all done internally, and there's not an all department vote for that kind of stuff. They're not officers, well, they're officers, but they're appointed.
But
Just so we know, Gene, there's no issues with, I mean, there shouldn't be any issues with what.
No, but within those two departments, they need to have documentation that they've agreed to it and voted on it. And I recommend you have a new contract with the new department, the newly named department that replaces the one you did tonight, so.
Okay,
Or
So-
replaces the two that you did tonight.
yeah, so if you guys can come up with what your department name is, so that we can.
We did talk about and decide that operating, I mean, we can always do business as another name later if we want to,
Right.
but,
Walnut Creek Fire.
Walnut Creek Fire
Department.
Department.
Fire department.
Walnut Creek Fire, so that's where the contract needs to be made to.
Yes.
I also recommend that you get that situation with titles cleaned up, because insurance-wise, I don't wanna have problems with our insurance company, or any insurance company for that matter, a plaintiff's insurance company, about trying to sue more than one entity here if something happens, so.
So with that, Tiffany, does that mean that they have to close their entity as Clinton Township Volunteer Fire Department and Bainbridge Volunteer Fire Department and form a new entity as one?
So I'm sorting through those thoughts in my head. So far, I've come to the conclusion that we can no longer report the two separate tax exempt entities.
Didn't agree with that.
So 12/31/25, or whatever the date was that you guys tell me.
Well, we voted on the
Voted
8th,
on
we set an effective date of January 1, 26, to make it clean.
So those tax returns to the IRS, I would indicate as final filings. And then I would, or somebody, whoever you ask to do that, would need to report to the Department of Revenue as well, and the Secretary of State, the dissolution of the entity. Separately, the process, unfortunately, of applying for tax exemption under the new entity, I would recommend would need to begin sooner rather than later,
So-
because that is not a short process.
Under a
Yeah,
501(c)(3).
Well, so I thought about that too, and the question would be, and I haven't had a chance to ask you this. You know, we're combining, we could dissolve one of them, right? And change the name of an existing one, if that process is easier. I've never gone through a fire department.
It could be done.
Dissolve.
Even
I
though.
mean, even
all
if we
tax
just
records
keep
are
it-
Dissolve
tied to
one, keep the other.
Yes.
Even with all
They
the
just
old
change
tax
the name,
records
even
being
just
tied
DBA.
to that one and this,
Yeah.
a new formation.
It's
Happens
not
all the
that,
time with, oh, sorry, go ahead, Gene.
it's not that complicated to do the dissolution. You have to do papers with the Secretary of State. When it comes to taxes, that's your area. But, and I can apply for a new entity myself. I can prepare the forms for that, so. Either way, it's pretty much the same.
But wouldn't the paperwork that you guys come up with need to match if you do plan to dissolve, let's say Clinton, and establish just a second location for Bainbridge
Yep.
and change the name of Bainbridge,
Mhm.
wouldn't the paperwork that you create need to outline that happened rather than the completely new formation of a brand new organization?
And
I mean,
to
if this-
follow up on that, let me know and I'll create the proper paperwork.
I like that plan. That's good.
Make it happen, Gene.
I mean, I don't think anybody really in this room, and, you know, chime in if you're there, has a preference one way or the other outside of, you know, just the amount of work and potentially either actual expense or sweat equity that would have to do to get that done. We could always leave one of the departments, you know, if we were to dissolve Clinton and leave it Bainbridge Volunteer Fire and then just add a DBA, right? I do DBAs with LLCs all the time. We could say doing business as Walnut Creek Fire Department and then functionally like, we just go put out fires and help people, right? We don't really care in this room, so.
Yeah, whatever is easiest
Yeah.
and potentially faster, I think is the best route.
Yeah, and Gene, if you're willing to help us, you know,
I'd be glad to.
there's a little bit of poetic license there, I think, because I don't think we have strong emotions on where assets end up. This is all taxpayer money that's coming through the district anyways, in terms of what assets are what. We just want to go to fires, actually.
The point of contact, Gene and Tiffany, will be Paul, just so you guys know if you have. That's gonna be the guy, so.
Okay. And we did document our decision. And I have new bylaws drafting, all that
So I
jazz.
guess that's, yeah, we can
We can
maybe
get all
talk
those
offline, but-
minutes and stuff like
Yep.
that. That would be helpful.
Yep, I will give them all.
Eric?
Eric?
I think this all sounds good in theory. I think there needs to be some more research because I don't know that a DBA, you're limited on a lot of things that you can do. You're doing business as, but you're also receiving tax dollars. So I don't know if you can really do a DBA per se. I think that everything needs to be researched a little greater to find out the proper steps. And if you're gonna do it, you need to do it correctly. All your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. Because the one thing you have to understand is the liability. This isn't just a good old boys club to get together and throw the wet stuff on the hot stuff. There's evil people out there in the world that are looking to get rich quick.
Oh, yeah.
And if we're not doing this correctly, you're just opening us up for a massive liability.
Good point.
And I take that as my responsibility. And that's why I want to be involved in it, because I represent this district.
Do we need to check with the county too to make sure our,
Well, this is new to me tonight.
yeah,
Give me a chance to look at whoever we need to talk to, and whatever documents we need, and whatever forms we need to change. And I'll come back to you with a recommendation. I'll work with Tiffany to get that done as well, so.
Anybody else?
Will that be done by the next meeting?
Or
we're under contract with the county since I didn't know that.
well, Walnut Creek Fire District is under contract with the county. Who we contract with
It's still up to you.
is
Still up to us.
still up to us, and it doesn't matter as long as we fulfill our contract. So with them going through their changes, it doesn't really matter to us as long as they can fulfill
The contract.
the contract, which they
be a
will.
combination of the two.
Yeah.
In theory.
There are a lot of evil lawyers in the world, in case you didn't know.
Never heard of that.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's an opening to get more than one defendant out of a case, lawyers are gonna seek it, and that's what I wanna work against. I wanna keep that from happening. And so that's what I'm gonna be looking for. And I'm gonna talk to some other people, and make sure we're going the right way. So, and do my own research as well.
Have you guys researched district versus territory?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
In other
benefits
areas-
to a territory.
in other
that there
areas of
isn't
the
in a
county,
district.
yeah, I've been in a lot of those conversations with the county. Currently with things that legislation being done at the state level, territory pursuant doesn't make much sense as of now. In 2 years, that could change, obviously. With SB 1 and stuff, I think staying with the district makes the most sense, but and we can have a conversation even after this or something.
I mean, with territory, you can set your max tax levy, and then it's set off that for what, 5 years, and then it's locked?
But it goes off the two, the ones you're trying to represent, the territory you're trying to represent. You can't just pull one out of thin air.
Yeah, but you can add to it.
Right,
You can
but
just-
right now,
you can
we're going off
justify
of the two combined of Monroe and Clinton.
Right.
Yes.
I just wanna make sure that the conversations have been had as a research and not.
But that's on-
tunnel vision on new t-shirts.
The money coming from the county from
It's on
said
us.
tax hike would be on their end, the district's end.
Right, but there's-
Yeah, but I can't, so
There's rules
we as
in
the
territory.
department can't tell them, hey, you need to raise the taxes without giving them anything to raise the taxes for.
Why do you think Brownsburg went to a territory? Why do you think Plainfield went to a territory?
That's Hendricks County, I have no idea.
It's in the state of Indiana, Kevin, it doesn't matter what.
Right, but I don't live there, so I don't know. I'm not,
We could
I
probably,
wasn't on either of their
we could
departments.
probably talk about this after the meeting.
I'm probably fine with that.
Okay, what else we got to discuss tonight? New business.
in addition to that, I would like to make a request, either as separate departments if we get stuck on that, or as one entity, that our treasurer and other leadership be given visibility to and even right access to, as well as ability to spend from approved district budget for operational and equipment purchases. Just experiencing that, we consolidated everything together, experiencing that over the years, it's an extra step, right? What are we, $50,000 off probably on our equipment spend, knowing what is spent and tracking invoices. I don't know, Tiffany and I haven't talked to you about this, to set up some mechanism that would allow our treasurer to see district spend, not in summary format like this meeting, but in operational format, so that we can make sure that all the invoices for the vendors that we have to work with to run the department are justified, categorized properly, and track payments, because we're playing a lot of telephone that's in the middle, and I think unnecessary if we can't look.
So really what we're saying is to have access to be able to look online to see
Yeah.
what checks have been written to which.
Yeah, it's 2026. We like to
Well,
be able to.
and like Paul's saying, is one of the, and it's no one's fault, but right now, when we're trying to operate off of the approved, off of the
Right.
budget for the year, it's hard to know how to make spending decisions when we don't know where the budget's at, right? And we don't have, so then if it is more cumbersome, potential in Tiffany's office, when we have to call and check in or do whatever.
And they
if
have
we
to
could
ask
just
us
see
what
it,
it is and what it's
Some,
for.
like a
Yeah.
live feed of the budget,
Right.
at least to some extent, to be like, okay, well, there's this much here, there's this much here. We need to make this purchase, we can do that, there's money there, right?
So I have an interesting update that relates to this.
Okay, here we go.
Over the last 2 weeks, I actually just, for my internal staff purposes, converted the Walnut Creek Fire Protection District funds and the software away from a product called Easy Act, which was Intuit, and I converted us over to QuickBooks Online.
Oh, yeah, that's what, high five.
So-
There we go.
Good
job.
Can I get a login there?
That was not that wasn't necessarily for you guys, but this does allow us to have a little bit more transparency, because it's an app. Everybody can log in, whoever we decide to give access to.
You can
And
assign certain
You
access
can run
points.
a budget report at any given time and see, not necessarily waiting until the week after the prior month's end. You can run that budget report.
And that's all we're asking.
Yeah, because I'm tired of forwarding the email of where this invoice payment's at. And
So I would like to formally request that we add the chief, the president, the treasurer, and the secretary as at least read-only access to, you guys gotta do the motion and vote, but if you guys can add us to that so that we can at least see, so that we can make updates. Read,
And we're
write would
talking
be-
read only, right?
Well, my next request is gonna be, we'd like to help out, right? So that we can actually throw notes on transactions that would help Tiffany's office understand what an invoice is for. I know that you see them and it's
She-
a whole bunch of numbers.
But since she's doing the books, she may not want other hands other than her own personnel
May not, but
on there.
we're gonna write all that stuff in
So-
emails anyways. It would be nicer to do it in a modern way.
Read only, they can pull any report that they want and look at it. They just can't change any of the numbers. Is that correct? If I recall right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I don't know how it would be possible. That would be really sweet. But how would I unlock, say a memo or a description field and not the whole transaction?
Well, let's adopt some modern policies, right? So if we're all issued individual login accounts with write access, the ability to add transactions, to modify transactions, then in accounting software like that, all of our activities would be logged to our username like any other system. So there's 100% audit trail for activities that happen in the software if we use
Audit trail,
non-shared.
yes,
So,
but if, and I say this because it's year end and I have 8 people on my team, okay? So
Okay.
we have already a lot of people's hands in books.
Yeah.
Audit access, yes. But what happens is when transactions get, let's say, disbursement was approved by the board in the January meeting, but then even though we can see who changed it, there was a series of transactions that were altered several months prior. It doesn't help the situation of we have to clean that up.
Sure.
It causes
So how do you control that
immense
internally?
mess. So the
Yeah.
audit trail is helpful, but that doesn't solve the problem.
I would say this.
Is there a way to lock it out? Because the other thing
I would
I'm
say that this is very new. So until Tiffany could figure that out, I would feel more comfortable with only Deer Accounting having hands on actual money. That way, nobody else has liability. But I do believe that you guys should be able to look at,
View everything.
view your budgets, view your transactions and everything like that. If you guys need to spend something, then it's just an easy email. Hey, Tiffany, I see that we have this in the budget. You know, we're thinking about this. Until she can figure out how to do it without complicating everybody's fingers in the bucket. Does that make sense? The last thing anybody wants is for multiple people to have open themselves up to some type of liability, especially after we're just getting out of one.
I think that's fair, and then maybe in the future, if you get more familiar with QuickBooks and like you can put an item or memo type section in there.
Yeah.
Like if you
yeah.
figure something like that.
Or like how to add a note,
Yeah.
or, because that really would help, having them have more oversight on, and more timely oversight on which appropriation we're categorizing things to come out of.
So I don't know how long you've messed with that one. QuickBooks Online has a mechanism to lock a period so that no changes can be made to the transactions within that period. I would suggest we would enable that to solve the problem of locking things out so that
I
you
don't
guys
wanna be
can,
locked out.
you would all, well, it would take administrative override to unlock a period, but then other users can't add to or modify or remove from transactions when you close the books for a quarter or a year, whatever
Are
we
you
choose.
the administrative override?
I am, but I don't want to lock periods out just because, can I have some time to check into this?
Yeah, the features that I've used that before, I know it's new for you, so. I am trying to drive to and will continue to drive to our ability to operate the fire department with a little bit more capability, right? It has been very difficult to ask volunteers to continue to be a go-between when they're trying to operate a fire department out of a budget that has already been approved, right? You guys don't formally come together for meetings to approve every expense. You approve an operating budget, the approval is done. We should be able to spend out of that to run the department in a sane way with open, like all of the transactions are open and visible. You guys should have access to it the same way and should be able to ask questions just like we would, right? This is a public forum right now. Everybody should be able to look at the books and not just in summary. That's I'm gonna continue to drive to that, like the logistics behind it.
I think that's fair what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think with everything that's going on between the two departments, there's a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
And so let's take a few smaller steps
Okay,
and
really start?
figure it out, because that's a lot to do all at one time.
Yeah, that's fine. Can we have read only?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good with read only.
Sweet.
Do we need to make a motion on
I'd
that?
feel better if you did.
Yeah.
It's not just on
Read
me.
only right now, you're gonna dig into and
Better
see if
really
there's a
vet out
way
what that means.
that,
Can you,
see if there's a way for them to go in and make notes and stuff like that. Right. You'll dig into that.
Yes.
and you can do read only now, or starting now for them.
I would think that I can do that.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain you can.
I don't know why not. But then again, I don't know what I'm gonna, I don't know what the QuickBooks Online definition of read only is, and is that appropriate? I don't know that off the top of my head, but yes, I can research that.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that do I call you by your new fire department name or what? I'm gonna make a motion that the members of the fire department be able to read.
You mean the officers?
Board.
Board.
The board members of the
Okay.
department.
The executive office.
Executive
Board members.
Executive board members of the department.
I'll make a motion for executive board members to be able to read financial reports via QuickBooks Online. Any changes that need to be made through Deer Accounting. And there is no authority for you guys to be able to spend without her doing the spending.
So motion, Rusty, motion to approve the executive board members to be able to, did you say view QuickBooks Online?
View QuickBooks Online without being able to edit QuickBooks Online.
Got that.
Do you wanna-
Second.
Do you wanna add the chief to that? Because technically the chief is
Well,
not
yeah.
an executive board member.
Sure, I'm line officer.
Okay.
Do you want to be on it?
I can represent the chief in
Yeah.
there if he doesn't
I
want to
don't
sign
think so. I think.
Yeah, be careful.
He just wants to fight
Yeah,
fires.
just keep me on the other side, yeah.
At least the president and the treasurer at a minimum. I think that way we have two, so they can back each other up. I would add the secretary in there just to help with documentation. Again, this is volunteer.
Would you like to have, you should probably have three so that you don't have a,
Well, that is the executive
President.
side.
Yeah, that's the
Secretary.
executive board.
President,
It's
treasurer, secretary.
Yeah, three would be good.
Yep.
We're not gonna vote on stuff in there because that's your job. We're just gonna help with documentation and tracking.
Make sure that the
Payments and-
funds are going to the appropriate line item.
do I need to redo this
I
or
need
what?
a
That's
second
so
now.
funny.
No, we're good.
Second. All in favor? Motion passed. Okay. Moving on. Do we have anything else?
I have one more thing. And again, it's kind of picking on Tiffany, it's maybe more your boat. So per state code, volunteer firemen can get, or to be paid $200 in uniform and their transportation expense. Do we have a procedure that you prefer on how that payment occurs? Do we need to, at a certain time of the year, send you an updated roster for that? Or do we
Other
go off of the
districts-
insurance one, or?
The other districts that I support send me prior to like the December quarterly meeting or whatever, a list of the current volunteers. And is that what you call the clothing allowance?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And so then my team and I would prepare those checks in advance of the meeting and then bring those to the meeting.
Okay, perfect. I don't know, I never discussed that with you, so.
That being said, there is a proposed bill, not sure if it's gone through vote yet, that they are wanting to increase that to 250 each. 250 for clothing, 250 for fuel.
Cost of living raises.
We'll let you know when it passes if it passes.
So I think it's July of this year is when it actually goes to a vote. If I read correctly.
Okay. Anything else?
So I'm gonna be an advocate for somebody that's not here tonight. Mr. Nick Purdy has spent a lot of his own money.
No, I got that covered already.
You
Yeah,
do?
That's,
Okay.
that's a,
Never
that's
mind.
a Paul thing.
I got nothing.
That's a reimbursement situation.
Well, I just know it's been,
Yeah,
like,
Nick's-
he's kinda getting flustered. about
Nick's
it.
found
No,
some,
he's
yeah.
Yeah, he's, and I,
Nick's found us some
I didn't
deals
know.
and paid out of pocket to get some really good pricing
Oh,
on some
yeah.
clothes.
it's all the
Very-
fun stuff. I
that's
paid
just-
for
Very
it.
good deals on stuff.
Yeah.
That's a,
That's
that's
just-
a, I did that shoulder. That's a.
Yeah,
All right.
start.
You're gonna,
I
you
have
can worry
nothing.
about it when you reimburse
Um,
me for it, and I'll give you the details. Easy.
Anything with,
I wish I would've known that.
anything with new business?
Good.
We good?
Not the thing.
Okay, public forum. Anybody got anything? Oh, boy.
He wants water. So, for you that don't know me, I'm Lee Preston, Fire Chief of Madison Township. I've talked to Grant quite a bit over the last year. I've talked to Kevin a couple of times. Grant a lot more because Clinton butts up to Madison Township. I talked to my department recently, also with the stuff going on with Greencastle Fire when they wanted to do a territory, and just where we are in the world now. I had brought up to Grant, Kevin, my people about Madison Township becoming part of your district.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know what we need to do to try to make any of that happen, if it's a possible situation, or open that can of worms again. Going to a territory would be better options. So I just kind of wanted everybody's input, see what you guys thought as a board, and then anybody else that wanted to chime in on it.
So,
There's a statutory section on mergers,
no mergers?
in the Indiana code, so. And I didn't bring that with me, but I can get it.
So, in my personal opinion, I'm open to the idea. My only hesitant is that I hear through the grapevine of everything that Greencastle is trying to do. And so what is gonna happen within the next year or two with them and trying to get everybody else, like, I don't know what's all going on with that. So,
Grant, what do you know?
um, that would be like my only concern is where, not so much Greencastle, but where's the county going to go? Cause it's not, I don't know, it's really Greencastle's decision, but a county decision. Where is the county gonna go with all of this?
Yeah, I know in terms of the county fire service, you look at fire service across the country, people are starting to realize if we keep doing what we're doing 10 years from now, we're gonna be looking back and saying, why didn't we do something in terms of consolidating resources and having better responses and being able to take care of our communities, because the volunteer service nationally is trending in downward pretty heavily.
Sure.
And that's just the reality of it. So, I mean, yeah, there's been from all through our county and many other places have already made moves, have consolidated resources one way or another. A few years ago, territories were popular. They were popular up till this whole SB1 bill that came through, kind of knocked down some of the incentives on why people were going to territories. I do know that from what I understand, at least, from what I've been told, I know that Cloverdale is trying to become a territory in the south part of the county. Greencastle at one point had their meeting. They wanted to have a conversation about where people were at. As far as I know, I have not heard anything of Greencastle considering anything with any legitimacy in changing anything. I don't think there's been no communicated plan for that at all. So if we have right now, there's been a trend because of SB1 back toward districts. I know you look at Monroe County Fire District, they've been a good example of how a county could come under a district umbrella and operate effectively. I believe they have staffing at every single one of their departments in their county now, through them all consolidating. So if that, to me, with Lee in this conversation, to me, it seems like a very good avenue to put us in a good situation if we can consolidate more resources and have better response. Our whole point is, are we gonna be able to respond better by consolidating resources? And the answer is yeah. I mean, you streamline some of the manpower gaps, as Paul talked about, you streamline apparatus and resources, you streamline training and tactics, and it puts you in a better position to hopefully start knocking down some of the insurance rates potentially through ISO ratings. So all those start coming together, and it's like, so the answer is the more that you can consolidate effectively and organize properly, that it puts you in a good position for the future. So I mean, that's as much as I know.
I personally will probably refer back to Gene and what his statutory is, but I'd be interested in hearing the opinion of my two colleagues here.
I would say for now, let's get through what we've already got on joining these two departments before we look into adding a third.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. I don't know if it's a great idea right now. I kind of agree with, let's get things working, coming together. The two departments is one right now. And then let's see what happens when we've got that straightened out. Gene can look up and get back to us hopefully by the next meeting with the process of maybe how this can work in the next year. But I think we've got some big things to accomplish right now, so we can make these two departments one department right now, and then maybe expanding that in the near future. It's kind of where I am.
So back to you, Lee. If I understand properly, you're just simply asking if we were open to the idea.
Yeah, and what we would need to do if it came about.
So I think the answer from the board is yes, we're open to the idea. I feel like, and we feel like, from the sounds of it, that we need to get this situation between Clinton Township and Bainbridge streamlined before we bring in another department into the district and kind of go from there. I mean, I'd like, if district is the way that we're gonna be going, and I don't know enough about territories and districts to know one way or the other as of right now, but if districts are the way of going, if we can get our two departments streamlined and ready to go and growing our district even more, I'm all for that.
Can I toss 2 cents in, on that?
Sure.
Some quick research about that. IC 36-811 states that an existing fire protection district may expand its boundaries to include additional township through a statutory annexation style process. If we're like it, I think it's designed to require no dissolution and no recreation. But if we're talking about Bainbridge plus Clinton, and it's easy to then do Madison, if we go ahead and do all of the work to do this thing just to annex right after, we might actually give ourselves double work.
But I think this is a little
So
different.
should we slow roll one, or do them all together, or research before we decide?
How are you guys operating now, Lee? Does the fire department own your trucks, or do you have
So,
a district? or-
Our trustee owns some of our stuff, and then we own a portion of our stuff too.
So right now, they get their funding directly, and this is kind of what my question is,
From the trustee.
from the trustee on contract, just like
Yep.
these departments are on contract. And so theoretically, would it be correct to think that if the funding was shifted to come as a flow through the fire district rather than the trustee, it could have a net effect on a no change on the tax rate for the taxpayers?
Yeah, I would not know that.
I would say.
I mean,
what's your
budget look like? What's your debt services?
So like, right now, what we get from our trustee is $25,000 a year. That's it.
Paid out twice, I'm sure.
Yeah, twice a year,
Okay.
July and December.
So you get 12.5 in the spring, 12.5
Yeah.
in the fall.
And then we if it wasn't for like all the extra stuff that we do, that wouldn't even cover us. Like our insurance is $16,000 a year. And then you got all your other regular bills on top of it, fuel and all that.
Is that paid out of your 25,000, or does the trustee take on that debt?
No, he doesn't take on anything. Maybe 25,000, blam, done.
So is this I'm devil's advocate here, is this a financial driven gain, or is this a gain to try to better your coverage for Madison Township citizens? What's the drive?
I want to, so for example, there's a spot in Clinton Township that we have to drive out of our area into Clinton Township and back into our area. And Clinton could get there so much faster. I am looking at this, because I can run my department off of what I run it off of, because we do other stuff that brings in plenty of money. There's no financial gain to it. It's taking care of the people.
Bring your whole fire department off at $9,000 a year.
No, I run my fire department off of another $25,000 from the racetrack.
Holy crap.
I get more from a racetrack in 6 months than I get from my township trustee in a year.
Does everybody know, in your township, know that your guys are working a different job to pay for their fire protection
Oh, yeah.
services?
Have you spoke, who's your trustee?
Jeff Alexander.
Have you spoke with Jeff about this plan of?
I have talked to him a couple different times about different things, because like when the Greencastle territory thing came up, and then I had talked to him about a district. He is 28 years as a trustee in sheriff. That's whether he's there or not anymore. He keeps telling me all the time, I can't wait till somebody runs against me. So like, to me, that's, hey, we'll get rid of
I'll
you.
gladly step out.
Yeah, like, well, like we already covered in our conversations, same reason for our merger with Bainbridge is, it's whatever we can do to better serve our
That's what it is for
communities. I
me.
mean, that's what every nature of the conversation's been, and
Yeah, 'cause the main thing with the two departments between Bainbridge and Clinton is manpower. Because that is the number one thing that, I don't care what kind of mindset you have, that is the one thing you cannot try to come up with the quickest. Because nobody wants to do what we do for free. I mean, we can give them a t-shirt and a hat, but what are we getting in return? Especially whenever we have all
Big
the,
truck.
yeah, especially whenever we have all the certifications that we gotta have just for the liability side of it.
No, I get it.
so with Madison, is it fair to say, you guys have made, you know, your point, but is it fair to say that maybe this conversation can continue at a conversational
Yes.
pace then?
Absolutely.
That's not my role, but is Gene then able to maybe look into this and try to see what because I don't know how fast this would move, you know, if this is
So-
a year plus process, you know, I'm just saying if some things were just kind of rolling in the right direction potentially.
I would say, like, if I'm understanding these two correctly, and I think it's very close to what I'm thinking, is the faster we can get streamlined with Bainbridge and Clinton and have that flowing smoothly,
Then roll on to,
we gotta build the foundation
I agree,
before we can build on top of it.
I agree.
So let's build the foundation, let's get it ready to go. And then let's have conversations about bringing others in.
Fair enough.
So to answer the question, yes, I'm open for continued talks about it. But I want to get what we have going on now squared away first.
Okay, yep, just to clarify, so, perfect.
Need to find a deal to farm out the,
Okay,
you guys got profits. right?
anything else public forum wise?
I'll see later.
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
And I understand the whole severity, or the whole deal is having everything streamlined, or streamed, I should say, for the municipalities of Walnut Creek Fire Protection District. But it is kind of a hassle. Because as you see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 members that would normally respond during these hours out of Monroe and Clinton Township.
So I think this falls into the line of, we need to figure this out on how all this is going to work together.
Right, because
Because
that's,
you don't need necessarily 9 people coming to this meeting, because it's gonna take your.
but it
your
is also a
coverage.
public, it is also a public forum, so I have to put
Absolutely.
it out there.
Absolutely.
But
So the point is there any way
we can get,
location change is ever gonna happen
yeah.
closer back to our response area? That's what.
And the only reason why I asked this is because the last meeting that we had a 45 to 50-minute discussion of, and not throwing anybody under the bus. Gene was gonna look into getting out of this said contract that I guess we've already paid our $11,000 from an illegal vote to pay for that process.
I can't answer that question right now.
I never knew that I was tasked with looking into that, believe me.
It wasn't in
Well,
the-
because it's not in the minutes either. 45 minutes to 50-minute discussion is not in the.
I do recall you saying that you were gonna look at seeing if there was any way we could get out of the contract.
Because you also had a board member resign shortly afterwards. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I can't answer that
I
question.
mean, don't get me wrong, thank Floyd Township for the hospitality of doing this. And I thank you guys for the hospitality of meeting the other 2 districts here.
So
But
without
that's
going,
them, that's not me. I'm looking at my people that's behind me right now.
I know,
That's 15 miles,
I know,
not counting all the way to Clinton.
I know.
If you do this consolidation, it's gonna be one meeting. And then the question becomes, where's that one meeting gonna be?
You ain't gonna get everybody from 2 other districts in here. I mean, this is 9 people and we're already out of capacity.
But you're gonna get people from 2 other departments in here.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, I mean, also you got, yeah. We also got a substantial investment that we made that
Wasn't researched.
Is this all?
I felt like there was a gun to our head. Get it done. You
Not the
have
only
no
ones.
choice but to get it done.
But
And
we
Eric,
did a
that is the
meeting
damn
prior,
truth.
that meeting in
the only one.
question
That was a
was
bad
done
deal.
off of free, off of, well, with the use of Tiffany's phone. Yeah,
$100
their tripod was at our
iPad and a
station.
Facebook page could do the
And it
exact
was-
same thing that this $30,000 system is doing. Because we do it at the town of Bainbridge and it's 100% legal. You guys were duped and it sucks. I hate it for you guys. I hate it for me as a taxpayer. I hate it for me as a member of the fire department. But when do you just write it off? It's 10 grand. You let a guy spend 50 grand on a hovercraft that you knew about.
That's actually 70 something.
It was,
So write it off. Make the decision to move our meetings back to our district because you guys want public input. But I can assure you that people aren't gonna drive 2 to 3 districts away to go to a meeting. It's not feasible. Write it off. I mean, it's my money. I'm the taxpayer. I'm okay with it. I mean, it's a bad investment. You
I would
guys have the
say,
autonomy to make the decision to buy a $200 iPad, start a Facebook page or
YouTube.
YouTube channel,
page.
whatever you gotta do.
YouTube will archive it for 90 days, and I think that's what the
No,
stipulation is.
YouTube will.
I would say it'd be fair to open up the conversation between the board, to have that conversation.
If you remember, we had something like 2 days in which to make a decision. to
Yeah,
comply with
like
the
I just
statute.
said, I felt like I had a gun to my head.
You
and
did have a gun
Eric's-
to your head.
And Eric's shaking his head no, like, yes, I did.
Well,
I
You
did
guys are
feel
all
that way.
adults. You made the decision.
I'm not saying we aren't adults, Eric. We all know we're adults.
But I think it should have been researched a little better.
You can't when you have 2 days to make a decision.
that's right. And,
Who made you make the decision?
It's the
state did.
county or the state. It was the state.
How
There
long
was a
did-
deadline that we didn't even know about
Exactly my point.
till 2 days before.
How did you not know about the deadline?
That's a good
for
question.
that until 2 days before?
Our commissioners
Yes, we were
didn't even
not
tell us
informed
about
by the state of the issue at all, and it only came, and we were not.
I can tell you, we knew about it at Bainbridge months before it
Well, then
happened.
you
How
should have
did you know
told
that?
us.
How did you know that?
It came from the state.
Well, it didn't come to us.
I think even Gene Beck in
That's-
that meeting also made the
That's why,
same,
that's what
because
you're
they
kind
paid
of,
the
that's your realm.
$3,500
You're
for
paid
the
to
county.
know
Well,
those
Gene
things.
Beck never told us about it.
I understand that, but I mean, that's,
I think that,
I
I mean, I can understand the frustration.
But yet,
I wasn't happy
it was
either.
okay, I mean, but I'm just saying, it was okay for $11,000 of Monroe Township, Clinton Township taxpayers' dollars to be spent on something that had a gun held to your head. That's okay, and have this meeting outside of the district
Yeah,
for the services that we're trying to provide in our district.
rip the Band-Aid off. What we're saying is, like, some of us get it, some of us don't. You were pressured, money is spent, contract is signed, all that is over. Let's not continue to make it harder on us.
I don't
We'll
disagree.
donate all the equipment that we bought to Floyd Township and high five them on the next structure fire. But let's go back and make it
I
easy for
agree. I
ourselves.
think, do we have an iPad? Or do we need to go buy one? I mean,
They're $100.
I know, they're cheap. They're super cheap.
We got.
I will
And I
donate
get
one
it.
out of the good
And I
grace
get
line.
it.
I have one in my car you can have.
I get it. I 100% agree with, we should be holding these meetings in our district. The tone goes off, you guys have a long drive.
Yeah,
Get to a
back
structure
to our
fire.
district.
That could be a life. Like we,
100%,
Could
I
be a life, it
agree.
could be a house, and I'm
Um,
sorry to say, it could be any of us in this room, our families. Did I not just drive the ambulance for your
You
newborn
sure
son?
did.
All right, without a hesitation,
0.
and that's the same for anybody.
I
That's
mean,
the
Yep.
community that we're trying to protect and serve.
So I agree, I would love to see them move back to district, starting this next meeting.
I agree with that too. We just have to figure out who's gonna be in charge, who's gonna put it on YouTube Live. We're gonna have to write off the $11,000 as a bad investment. There's no going back, there's no pointing
So
at
can we,
anybody.
can
For
we
the-
create a,
for the low price of $1, I will build a YouTube channel.
I was to say, can you get a
Yes,
YouTube
I'll do it
channel
all.
for
I will
fire
absolutely do it
departments?
all. For as many departments as you guys want to do.
And
I
then-
can generate websites, I can host websites, YouTube channels. And if you spend $100 on the tablet for wherever you want to put the tablets, they're not much.
Will you be at every meeting or at least make sure somebody is there that can?
I will have laminated
this.
instructions on the wall to
This is.
or I will be at the meeting. And I can leave my contact information there if I'm not at the meeting and cross-train several individuals. I think this is less of a liability than who can drive a fire truck, and we do that with a lot of people.
One thing I see wrong is when I walked in, I seen 3 different vehicles that the district owns sitting out there.
You're dang right, we drove.
Nothing against Kevin, it's a 7.3, it probably won't start, but it's out there running, burning diesel.
We had to bring all that stuff over here so that we could cover our area still from this
From your
meeting.
very long extension cord.
You guys are lucky we didn't
Because the
bring
majority
big
of
fire
your
truck.
responders are right. I'm
Yeah.
like, and that's a sad truth.
I'd like to make a motion to, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let me squeeze a question in. How does the district board want to address the website? Right now, the hosting is an annual fee paid to the same contractor. Do we want to, I don't know how this works, so forgive me, but do we just say we don't want to do the hosting anymore and so our website goes down, or how does that work?
I mean,
What's the hosting fee, does anybody know?
I do not.
It was
I believe
split
it's
3
11,000.
ways, just the same as the contract. I wanna say maybe
It was always
900 a year or
11,000.
Is there any
less
other
than 100 a
function
month.
to the website besides meeting announcements and recordings?
Any other function? No.
Okay,
I don't think we would
No, we
need
don't
it,
need
to
it.
be honest. I
can we
mean,
download the existing recording? If there's not even a record, is there one up there for
Yeah,
us?
it's Fusion. Right?
Well,
Right now,
is
this
there
one-
one all up there from July? Because July was the
So
last
it
meeting, right?
it stores, I guess it archives, so.
But there is
where
one
would
on the
send-
website currently, right? From July? is what, I think that's what he's asking.
All of,
Is the
July
meeting
was,
from July on the website already?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Okay.
This is our
Okay.
first time.
Okay.
But now
well,
we're.
it's somewhere, cause I have it recorded on my phone, so
Okay.
somewhere out there it is.
Okay.
Or it should be.
Yeah, I remember it's being recorded.
Because YouTube.
But so I guess that was part of, and correct me, Gene, if I'm mistaken, but I thought that was part of the open door requirement of having
It
a
is part of the open door
accessible place to
requirement.
store and archive the
And
meeting.
so
Can
part of
YouTube
this,
can we upload meeting minutes and meeting agendas and things to YouTube?
I
Is
mean,
that possible?
I personally believe, like, I don't disagree with any of these guys, right? I don't disagree. But I also don't think that you just jump the gun and say, hey, we're gonna do this without knowing open door laws first.
If I'm not mistaken, part of that 50-minute conversation was Paul researching the said law from the state on what it stated.
You're gonna throw me under the bus right now, aren't you?
Well, you were,
I mean, no offense, Kevin, like, I agree, but he's also not our attorney that we pay either.
But, and I'm not gonna throw Gene under the bus, but Gene, get ready. You were supposed to look it up. If we look back on the archived video that Tiffany took on her phone. There was more people that stated you were gonna look it up. I'm sorry.
Well,
That was never conveyed to me.
In the meeting, you said you were gonna look into it.
And, you know, people make mistakes, so
Yeah.
whatever way it went, going forward, maybe we can just figure
Well,
this out.
so going
in fact, I
forward,
did
yes.
look into it, and I think we complied with the open door law. But the bottom line is, we had to make the decision quickly, because the penalties were going to get.
Brad, I understand that, but there was also $11,000 that was spent of taxpayer dollars that was illegal.
So-
No,
Did it go before a public vote?
so
I think it happened, and now we just need to find a
Yeah, I
way
was gonna say,
forward. I don't
continuing
think
to
we need
go
to talk
forward.
about the past,
Like,
let's just,
I
let's get a
think-
plan for going forward here.
I would like to ask for a change though, because, so I'm gonna pick on you, Tiffany. For the minutes that I didn't see before we came here, right? And then the part of this is related to the reading of and approval of minutes. So as the treasurer prior, or as the president going forward, when I read district minutes, if there are edits, there is no forum for any functional member besides the board to provide edits, right? So for the example, in the last meeting minutes, it says report $0 in equipment account. We didn't have an equipment account. There's no such thing as a Bainbridge equipment account. I know it's just probably a little typo, but like that's kind of stuff that we would need a space to provide input on. The same thing probably would have happened for the minutes associated with the conversation on the district meeting locations. Like outside of the board, there is no additional layer of opportunity for people to comment on meeting minutes before you read them and approve them. We're silent in that part of the meeting. What I would request is an opportunity for you to open it up to officers, maybe of the departments that were entered into by contract, to be able to chime in on meeting minutes, and or can those meeting minutes go out soon after the meeting, because we're now 3 months away. None of us, 6 months, we missed one, right? We forget stuff.
Mhm.
So if the meeting minutes could come out right after the meeting, and then we can, voice those opinions via email or some mechanism, so that if there are errors or omissions, or, hey, I heard it differently in the meeting minutes, that can at least be recorded from anybody outside of the district board members. And I think that would fix that, right, going forward? Because I don't want to he said, she said, and that's
Tiffany,
what meeting minutes are for.
will you please go back and try to find, because I know that you recorded that meeting.
I'm not sure what.
Will you please go back and try to find that meeting? Okay, thank you.
So can we have a mechanism to request changes to meeting minutes, or is it already, did I
So
miss it?
the way that the other districts that Gene and I support, the board actually asks for input when, and I feel like they maybe I'm
I
wrong,
was,
but I feel
I was
like
holding
we
my
did.
tongue today. I
I
didn't
mean,
hear
you
it
should
and I
just
don't wanna
chime in if
nitpick.
there's changes, for sure. But I feel like, why wouldn't you just chime in if there's a change?
Or why wouldn't you bring it to a board member's attention prior to the meeting?
Because we don't get the minutes prior to the
They don't
meeting.
get the minutes until the meeting.
Yeah, midnight.
That's what I'm saying, and it's, even if I do get I know it's 17 hours before, but I work a full-time job, and I don't have time to review that, but like, I literally came from my job right before this. And so, I don't mind doing it in the meeting. My memory from 3 months ago is not as good as it is the week after or the day after. And this is documentation 101, right? The sooner you document it, that's why we do run reports right after the runs, because if you don't document it right away, then, I don't care, truthfully, I don't care when it is. If it is in the meeting and you just wanna open it up, I felt like today I couldn't chime in because that was the part of the meeting before you opened it up to the departments. If that's how it happens in other districts, I'm totally good with that. I just wanted to ask and make it.
So is that not the way we have always done it?
I've never chimed in on meeting minutes, and
In the
that could just be.
future?
I know you never chimed in, but the way that we ran that and approved meeting minutes, we have always done it that way. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
I've chimed in and made a few changes before in a meeting when you brought it up.
Okay.
So
I
to
might
their
be new.
defense, cause same thing, it was Rescue 11, I was like, it is Brush 11, it was the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I did do that at the beginning of a meeting in the past. But I get what you're
If
saying.
you guys don't mind,
You're
we
saying
will
there's
do that.
you're saying there's a more convenient way that's not much of, is what you're saying.
Well,
Rather-
it
better
depends
way-
on when Tiffany has
I see.
time to do meeting minutes from the prior meeting and the mechanism of posting those, right?
Well, I have no problem with that.
Communicating.
I understand what you're saying.
I just, and if it's just like, hey, chime in and that's the thing, then, and you guys don't mind if we interrupt when we
Well, I
see
think-
something.
I mean, we're all to this open thing now. So, like, if we can figure out a way to,
Google Docs. They're live meeting minutes.
if you figure out a way to get it out a little bit earlier so that people can,
You can absolutely do that. It's just a change in my process.
and then they have plenty of time to review it, and then they can ask their questions and we can resolve them. Is that
I
fair?
can work with you on what's easy. I don't wanna make extra
Is
work
there,
for you.
is there, does the board want to say, no later than 1 week after the meeting, or, 2 weeks after the meeting, or?
I mean, sooner probably the better.
2 weeks would be okay. I know this isn't a great
Yeah.
2 weeks for you right now, it's your busy season, but
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a motion to, hold on, before I do that. Eric, did you have something about meeting minutes?
Yes,
Okay.
just in the future, whoever's running the business meeting, whether it's you as president, if you're not here, the vice president, when it comes to right before you approve the minutes, you should ask publicly if there's any additions or corrections. And then that's where everybody has the opportunity to chime in and say, yes, this needs to be clarified, or this needs to be correct.
Thank you.
Which I think you have done that in the past.
You missed it today,
I don't-
Rusty, and we're on
It's
you for it,
fine,
man.
it's fine. I mean,
I don't know that I remember that I ever have, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I'm being honest, I don't know that I've ever said that.
That's fair.
But
It's a fair point.
he's right.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna make a motion to approve that our public meeting minutes get posted and distributed within 2 weeks of our quarterly meetings.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Motion passed.
Got it.
Back to our meetings here with
I do not feel comfortable just uprooting without knowing exactly what the law is. And that person should be Gene that advises us, because if anything happens to us in legality, it's his butt, not ours. So I think he needs to be the one to say, yes, you can do that. If that's what you wanna do, yes, you can do that, and this is how you do it. If this is not what you wanna do, then you keep it the way it is. But I think he needs to be the one to advise the board, since he's the attorney, and at the end of the day, if we ever had to go to litigation for anything, it's his butt on the line.
Will you double check that an iPad linked to a YouTube account set up at Bainbridge upstairs where we've had them in the past is legal?
It can't be up in it can't be at Bainbridge because it has to be handicapped accessible.
We can move it down.
So we'd have to move it either downstairs to the bay, or we'd have to move it to possibly across the street at the city hall.
You would have it, Clinton. That's it.
Clinton only
Yeah.
downstairs.
I'll have to
Clinton,
double
but
check
Clinton
this,
is out of the way for the public too, so.
July meetings.
Well, it's a
Huh?
district meeting.
July meeting is on the website.
Did you just email that video to them or something?
You're saying Clinton's out of the way, Bainbridge is out of the way for Clinton.
No, it's fine.
district.
It could be anywhere.
Clinton's
I understand, but
You get what I'm saying?
Clinton Township is a one-way road on a dead end.
We used to rotate and it's fine.
Yeah.
Bainbridge is fine.
I get what you're saying.
We're not gonna screw the iPad to the wall too, so, you know.
We can move.
Full
So-
belt.
Can move it.
Alright, so Gene's gonna give us,
So Gene is going to provide us with all the information that we want and need in order to make a decision on what we're gonna do with our public meeting.
Can you get that back to us within 2 weeks?
I think so.
And I can check on the availability of the community building through Biz.
That would be good.
I believe with us being a 501(c) nonprofit, in the past leadership of Biz, they will not charge. But we've already got scheduled every third Tuesday of the quarter. That would be far enough in advance.
Who did you say was needing the video? It is out on the web, the
I
existing
would send it
website.
to the chief and to Paul, and then send it to the board.
So
And probably send it to Gene.
just the link to the website, I guess.
Just the link to it, yeah.
It's also.
Okay. Do we have anything else publicly to discuss?
I just, one last point real quick.
Okay.
House Bill 1167 was passed in 2023. That gave everybody 2 years to be able to budget and fund this project to be able to televise. So just wanted to let you know that.
Okay.
If our political representatives knew that that was the case, I think it would have been good for them to have advised us of that. I received a periodic report on bills passed and bills pending and so forth. It covers numerous areas. Frankly, I don't have time to keep up with all of those. And I represent lots of areas of the law. But it seems to me that if that was a concern, it should have been brought to our attention. Secondly, when we run our meetings here, I think when I first started representing this district, I wrote down some procedures that I thought ought to be followed. When people are watching these meetings and being concerned about issues, and somebody from the audience makes a statement, I think that it's incumbent upon you to ask what their name is and what their address is when they make the statement, so that there is something in the record that expresses that. I think that we have an open forum, and I think pretty much this meeting tonight followed that open forum. The two townships responded, but in order for people from the audience to make comments, they should identify who they are, and so that not just the board knows, but the people watching the meeting know as well. I think that is necessary.
So when you when you say that, knowing that, 99%, if not 100% of the audience in here are members of the volunteer fire department, do we still need to ask them their name and their address when
The
they
public doesn't.
comment?
Does the public know who the volunteer fire department members are?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, well, I think that they ought to know, who's advocating for what. Maybe for example, in, the prior representative who, had accusations against him for disproportionate, improper use of funds. If somebody in the community had known, who was there and who was, being informed, that could have, maybe helped that situation, so.
I mean, couldn't, like, if the firefighters and stuff had to announce our name, could we do like our name, position, or unit number instead of our address?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so there's no code for the address, because me being
No.
in law enforcement,
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
tell you
want
right
people
now, I would
knowing my
never get up
address.
and speak my opinion if that was a law. 100% would never put my address out.
No,
for any.
Maybe just say which township you live in, or like a general area maybe, instead of
general area.
a full blown
But
address.
for example, the judge in Lafayette was just shot, he and his wife. The Justice of the Supreme Court came down with the suggestion that there not be any advertisement of where judges live. Now, I come from a small community and I'm a judge and people know where I live, but other than that, shouldn't be, so.
Yeah, I don't know that I feel comfortable with public record, public, people watching a public forum know where people live. For instance, I mean, there has been a few years ago where the situations in a particular fire department wasn't the most comfortable for me. And my own personal family took attack. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody can figure out where I live, but that doesn't mean I want them to know where I live publicly. So I don't think that saying our address is proper, but township, sure.
That's gonna make the meeting so long. I mean, you could say, hi, my name's Paul Weiss.
My name's Paul
That-
Weiss,
that's
I live in
pre-identifiable,
Monroe
And my
Township.
face is on the meeting too.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
So, I'm gonna push one more time and then I'll leave it alone, I promise.
If they really wanna know.
I wanna move the meeting back. You're on YouTube already. I can see the back of your head. They're not using any special element to get there. This meeting is live streamed to a free YouTube account right now. We paid for that, which is great. Let's move past it. But let's just do the meeting in our township with the YouTube channel. I'm sure we could even ask for the login to this one because this is free. And move back. Like, I appreciate Gene and I would say, please continue to research, but I don't think we need that research to do what we're already doing if that was previously researched and approved. Because you're right there. And this is a free YouTube account that you can see. And that's on our official website. I don't wanna ask all
Okay,
of these guys to come again in 3 months to try to make a decision when we just move back there.
point made,
We're not doing that,
point
so.
made. Anything else?
I have one thing.
No.
I do not want to say this after the meeting closes, but I just looked at the contract for myself that you guys approved. You did motion and approval. And I intended not to make any changes from the 2025 contract.
Yes.
This is an older version, so a couple years prior. So what I would request is that you approve the same contract that was in place in 2025 for 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Motion passed. Okay, it is 7:50. You have something?
If Gene gets back with us, we would have to hold a special meeting to move our meetings back to Bainbridge, correct? To vote on
But that's just with you guys, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's not
Just exactly.
for sure it would need to be run in the paper, I do know that,
Yeah.
so that the public notice can be made. I don't know if the decision would have to be made in a special meeting, I don't know.
To move our meeting locations, would we
It
have to
could
do
be made
that?
in a regular meeting, but if you're gonna, if it's a vote on such an issue as that, it has to be
Yeah.
published, public meeting will be published. So,
So I guess maybe you can make some sort of a creative motion then now and say pending, Gene's research, we
or
may be
the
moving the
president can
meeting.
just call the meeting, set up the meeting and call
What, a public meeting?
it. Mhm.
Like a special meeting.
A special meeting.
A special
Oh,
meeting,
so,
Yeah.
special meeting.
okay.
Midville.
It is 8:00, Tuesday, January 20th. I'm calling meeting to adjourn. I told you it'd be a 2-hour meeting.
At least you had some